Good afternoon, everyone, and in particular, good day to our scale-up leaders in this room. It's lovely to see you all here, IRP, in reality and in person. I'm so delighted to be here today to welcome you to the inaugural Innovate UK Edge Scale-Up Programme Community Summit. Somewhere we're going to have an acronym in that sometime, but it's a great pleasure that this is being hosted here at the London Stock Exchange, one of the Scaleup Institute's founding partners, and thank you, Julia, for everything that you and your team do for our scale-up economy. It's incredibly important. The Scaleup Institute was founded by the private sector in 2015. A number of our partners are here today. Even BGF is celebrating its 10th birthday. But we have the mission, and we were set up with the mission, to make the UK become the best place in the world, not just to start a business, but to scale a business, and to ensure that the public, private and education sectors across the whole of the UK and every sector put a focus to your needs. And why is that important? Well, you are the Growth Jedi, the champions of the UK economy. Each of you in this room represents one of the 33,440 scale-ups that we have in the UK. You generate 1 trillion every year to the UK economy, which means that you deliver 50% of the SME economy. And that's why it's so important that we segment and get behind our scaling businesses. You may only represent 1% of companies, but you are also net employers of 3.2 million people across the country in every sector. So it's important that we get behind you and help you scale further and support you in breaking down the barriers that hinder the scale-up pathway. Think of us as your Yodas and gurus who are going to just break through all of the things that you're facing today. From the get-go of the Scale-Up Institute's creation, Innovate UK has really started working with us and listened to what your needs are and been very proactive in the way they've responded to the needs of our scale-ups and sought solutions to address them. In 2019, I met some of you in this room when we started on that pathway with Innovate UK and started the Scale-Up programme which Max led. Today, that programme has flourished. It's expanded, brought in additional finance options such as the innovation loans, and I know Nigel's in the room today, and most importantly, it's delivering impact to you. Scaling businesses like yourselves always tell us that you most enjoy on any programme the interaction with each other and the peer community that you are a part of. So I'm very happy that in last year the peer element has been brought into the Scale Up Innovate UK Edge programme, and this Alumni is launching today with all of you here. In the summit this afternoon, we are going to focus on two of your key challenges that you've said are really top of mind at the moment: raising capital and finding that right funding for you, and also improving and progressing your brand. So we're going to be hearing a lot more about that in the coming sessions. Importantly too, you're going to have the opportunity, as you've just been doing, to network, swap insights, maybe even do some business together. So do look at the lookbook. It tells who else is in the room to you. So, before we delve into the detail, let's hear some opening remarks from Chris Philp, Minister for Technology and the Digital Economy, who will expand on the government's focus on scale-ups. That will be followed by Indro Mukerjee. He is the CEO of Innovate UK, a wealth of scale-up experience that he has, and he'll be telling us more about the vision that Innovate UK has in working with you in the future. And then Julia Hoggett, the CEO of the London Stock Exchange, will highlight further developments in the stock exchange designed to foster your growth. And then we'll talk more about money. Anyway, enjoy the afternoon. You'll be seeing me popping up and down during the occasion, and enjoy and make sure you network through the process. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation to speak today to Innovate UK's Scale-Up community. Let me start by saying a huge thank you and congratulations both to Innovate UK and the whole Scale-Up community for the phenomenal results you're achieving. Scaling companies are a critical ingredient for the United Kingdom's future economic success. That is recognised by the Prime Minister, the Chancellor, and throughout government. You are creating the jobs of the future, you're driving productivity increases across our economy. You're helping us level up across the United Kingdom, and you are also, I think, helping to address the cost of living challenges we have by making our economy more efficient and more productive. So the work you are doing is critical to the United Kingdom's economic success. And I'm glad to say the UK is performing well in the arena of tech innovation, startups and scale-ups. The ecosystem for startup and scale-ups recently exceeded $1 trillion in value, which is an extraordinary accomplishment. We also saw last year, 2021, more unicorns created in the United Kingdom than any other European country. In fact, we have now more unicorns in the UK than France and Germany combined. We created 29 new unicorns last year, a new unicorn every 12 days, a truly phenomenal achievement. And when it comes to raising money to drive growing tech and innovative businesses, again, we had an amazing year last year. UK tech businesses, private tech businesses, raised £29.4 billion. That's more than double Germany, who raised about 15 billion. It's more than 3 times France, who languished in third place on around about 9 billion. We were by far the European leaders. And when it comes to public markets, the UK is very lucky to have the London Stock Exchange located right here. It is by far Europe's leading stock exchange, including for tech. Last year, 2021, we saw 122 IPOs raising £16.9 billion, and 39% of those were in tech. So if you're thinking of floating your business, there is no question at all the London Stock Exchange is the place to do it. The government is particularly keen to back businesses and back innovation in areas that are going to be foundational to the country's economic future. Particularly, we're focusing on artificial intelligence. We published an AI strategy last year that includes funding 1,000 PhDs in artificial intelligence. It includes funding, I think, over 2,000 AI Masters conversion courses. We also have a quantum computing strategy coming fairly soon, and we're very focused on advanced semiconductors as well. And whether it's UKRI, Innovate UK, or the British Business Bank, these critical emerging technologies are ones that we really want to get firmly behind. But we don't want to rest on our laurels as a country. There is more we can do, I think, as a government to help you succeed even more. One of those areas is in people. I've mentioned some of the investments we're making in artificial intelligence PhDs already, but we're in the process now of introducing much more flexible visa routes, so that if you're a fast-growing company, you can bring people in from anywhere in the world quickly and easily. I know it's a challenge for many businesses. So as these new visa routes roll out during this year, including the Scaleup visa that I just mentioned, it'll be much easier for businesses like yours to bring in the best people from anywhere in the world. I also know that funding to stimulate new ideas and innovation is critical. So our government R&D budget is increasing from £15 billion a year today to over £20 billion a year in the near future. And of course, much of that will flow via UKRI and Innovate UK. And the Treasury is also looking at expanding the scope of R&D tax credits to incentivise investment by private businesses too. And when it comes to capital, I've mentioned the huge success on the public stock market and for capital raising already, but there is an opportunity for us to unlock institutional financial capital, particularly from pension funds, who in the UK are, in my view, under-allocated to tech and innovative businesses. And if we can get even a small percentage of the UK's enormous pool of pension fund assets allocated into venture capital and other channels for investing in innovative and tech businesses, it will unleash, I think, an even bigger tidal wave of growth and innovation. So although we're doing incredibly well as a country already, there is definitely a lot more we can do. But look, let me conclude by saying once again, congratulations to Innovate UK and to your Scaleup community on the phenomenal achievements you've delivered so far. We are completely behind you. Our country's economic future is in your hands, and if we work together, I know that the coming years will be even more successful than last year. Thank you very much.
Do you know, I almost can't stand that picture because of lockdown and various other things. In the year that I've been doing this job, I have yet to have agreed to take a new set of photos. And so I would like to ask if it's possible to perhaps come on to something else, but I almost can't bear to have a look at that picture. I also don't know which of the Star Wars. Oh, here we are. So here we are. Do you want an action shot? I don't know also which Star Wars character I would be. I feel like some days more like Chewbacca than like Luke Skywalker. It's really a pleasure to be here, and it's really a pleasure for many, many reasons. I, up until a year ago, worked all my career in the public sector, private sector. I've been in the public sector for 1 year. And I have worked in innovative businesses and seen the innovation journey in leadership roles which have varied from being responsible for thousands to hundreds to tens of people. And so I have every respect for the work and everything that everyone here in this room has done. I really understand and empathise with the exhilaration but also the challenges of the leadership journey in tech and innovation. I've seen the great, the good, the bad, but occasionally also the ugly. And so all of you who've been on this journey, who have developed businesses, who've developed potential, who employ people, I really admire each and every one of you because I know how challenging it is to really do that work. It's also very satisfying as well, and every step that we can take to help you, it's our privilege and duty to do so. I also want to thank the London Stock Exchange for hosting this event. I think it's fantastic and fitting that we have this very visible and very vibrant partnership together, because ultimately this is what it's all about. And I think this shows the journey that we can take together as a community in a very strong and direct way for the UK, as you just heard the Minister speak about. Innovate UK has been long working in this area. This is a very big area for us, and we think this is an area which it deserves even more than we've already been doing. And so in this coming year, we're going to be boosting the work that we do in the area of Scaleup, in the area of the support that we give to go through that journey. And there is a few things that we're working on at the moment, one of which in particular is the reason why, sadly, I can only be here for a few moments, and I've very apologised also to Judith. I might have to leave halfway through her presentation, and I have to go to Westminster to meet some ministers on some things that we are working on at the moment. So if any of you have spotted, we have 3 words that we like to use for Innovate UK, which we put in our plan for action. And the plan for action is available if anyone's ever interested by Googling Innovate UK Plan for Action, and you'll get a link to it. Unfortunately, you will see that picture, sadly, but maybe there'll be some others that will be coming up shortly. In that plan for action, we give 12 we will statements which summarise the way that we will offer our support to UK business for the innovation journey. And if you look at these statements, you'll see that it covers the whole comprehensive range of everything that can happen from research, working with academia, all the way through to start-up and then to scale up. So this is an area that's very, very important to us and very dear to the work that we do. You'll see that we use 3 words to describe our essence, which are inspire, involve and invest. And we chose those 3 words because we believe that these 3 words encapsulate the role and the essence of our desire to partner with innovators up and down all through the UK. By Inspire, we want to connect. As a public service, we want to be more accessible. In a few months' time, certainly by the autumn, you'll see that we've made some big changes to the way that innovators can connect with innovation support, not just from Innovate UK, but also from other parts of the public system. And we're working on a programme called an Innovation Hub. I colloquially use the term shopfront. And the essence of this is to be able to show innovators within 3 clicks how you can get support. And I'd love to get your feedback, and I'd love to work out a way to be able to harness this group as maybe a bit of an early advanced beta testing site to give some feedback on these things. And so we'll work out a way that we can do that and work out a way together. And Max and Irene weren't expecting that I was going to say that, so I would like to involve you in this programme. The second word is involve, and building a community is very important to us. Building a community of all the alumni here in this room and beyond is extremely important to us because we think that peer learning, sharing and connections are really, really important. We have with us in our armoury, on our side, fighting the good fight, the most fantastically well-connected person in the entire innovation ecosystem, and that is Irene Graham here, who we have on our side. And so with Irene on our side, I don't think there's much else that we need to worry about. And so connections are very important. Scaleup alumni is going to be very important. Building a community is very important as well. And the third thing is invest. And we are working on a programme that you'll see again in a few months' time, that again we'll try and see how we can use this group as a bit of a beta test site to better link businesses that we've supported by virtue of financial support and non-financial support with a bench of private investors. So we call this internally the Transformer project because like a transformer you link two voltages together. I think we'll end up calling it portfolio or something like that. And the essence is to be able to make a platform of every single business that we have in any way, shape or form supported, either for finance or non-finance means, advisory, etc. And get a platform of private investors who can come onto it, VCs, angels, seed funds, etc., and then make a platform where these two can make a market together. We can't make the market clearly because we're a public service, but I think a market can be made, and we've taken some feedback from a number of investors who are extremely excited about this opportunity. And it's searchable by some keywords. You know, you're an investor that you want to invest in areas ABC, you want to sign checks up to so-and-so size, and you're interested in maybe taking a position in some businesses. And this is very much welcome from the small business community who sometimes find it quite difficult to make that connection. So you'll see that later this year, and again I'll try and see how we can involve the community in terms of the work that we do on testing that. You saw the picture of Master Yoda earlier, and I didn't know that Irene was going to use that example, but the most powerful thing that I remember from what Yoda said, and Yoda is after all one of the most famous philosophers in the recent times, and one of the most important things he said was, "There is no try, only do." And this is one of the most fundamental mottos for everybody associated in innovation. Because innovation is about giving it a go, not having the regret later that you tried it, you nearly, like if you're into football, and I met one of my colleagues, Alistair Banham, who's here somewhere, who's also like me a football. There's Alistair. So at least I know Alistair would resonate to this, that I'm an Arsenal supporter, and the old Arsenal manager, Arsene Wenger, would always say that he was 5 minutes away from signing Ronaldo. But the fact is that he didn't, and we didn't, and then the rest is history. And that is why there is no try, only do. It's such an important thing to resonate. And all of you are examples of that, because if you didn't give it a go, then you wouldn't be here. And the very fact that we, in some way, some small way, have been part of your journeys is really a privilege to us, and it's our duty. And if we together can help others on a journey, that's really something very exciting and very motivating. And there has never been a better time in the entire history of mankind to be involved in innovation. This is the right time now. Our economy needs it and our society needs it. We need to get some more innovative businesses, and we need the skills and talent to support those businesses. And as Innovate UK, we're working on both those sides to help the businesses, but also to help the skills and talent. Because the one big weapon that we have as a country, if we choose to use it, is to use the talent that we already have in this country that hasn't necessarily always been given the fullest opportunity and inclusion. And if we can do that, then we can really make a fantastic way of filling the skills gap that we need. So for me and for us in Innovate UK, we very much link together the skills and talent agenda with the equality, diversity and inclusion agenda, because we want to make a contribution to helping to get more innovators into the system, more talent and skills for you and all your businesses and many other businesses, and we all want to rock and roll together and do some fantastic things. So it's been my privilege to be here. Sorry I can't stay for longer, and Innovate UK is always open to doing its best to support you. Thank you very much indeed.
got the old photograph problem as well. That actually was one taken when I was Director of Market Oversight at the FCA, so it really was a long time ago. So thank you, everybody. I'm Julia Hoggett. I'm the CEO of the London Stock Exchange. I don't think I've ever followed Yoda and Chewbacca before, except to say that I was so small as a kid that most people used to call me an Ewok rather than Yoda. It is a privilege for me to be here, and it's an honour to have all of you here. We are really thrilled to have you here. And I want to thank Innovate UK and the Scaleup Institute for being the driving force behind this event, and it's something that we're incredibly happy to partner with you on. And welcome to the Stock Exchange. I still very much enjoy being able to actually physically welcome people. I started this role, in fact I got this role entirely in lockdown and entirely online, and started this role entirely online, and so the ability to actually welcome people to this building is still a thrill. And to the mouthpiece that is, or the mouthful that is, the Innovate UK Edge Scale-Up Alumni Community Gathering. We really do need to sort out the acronym for that. It is a mouthful, but it's a really important one, I think. Now, events like the one we're hosting today are very much at the heart of what we do as an exchange, and that may seem somewhat weird. I always say that stock exchanges exist to bring together those who have capital with those who need capital in service of an objective. And whether that's the convening of people or capital, it's all important. And as I look across the room, I can see representatives from companies from different parts of the country and from different parts of the economy. And that breadth matters to me. Too often I'm told that the role of the stock exchange is in serving the city. I keep having to correct them. Our job, like that of the city, is to serve the entire economy, all of the economy, wherever and whatever growth activity it's seeking to undertake. At LSEG, and I know that at Innovate UK and the Scaleup Institute, we're all coming together to help maximise the potential of you as companies and as founders. Meeting entrepreneurs, to be honest, whether you're the owners of a future unicorn or not, is one of the best parts of my job. The passion and dedication that you observe from someone who takes that leap to start something from scratch, often with no backing but their own savings, is nothing short of inspirational. And we should actually change the public narrative to celebrate that much more and to recognise how inspirational it is. Let us not forget that what you all do, what we're seeking to do here today, ultimately helps drive the innovation, growth and jobs that make the future brighter for generations to come. And whilst finance might not be the sexiest topic of conversation to some, dare I say it to many, it is an important aspect of any successful company's journey. And seeing so many of you here today is testament to that. Initiatives like these of Innovate UK that help ensure a flow of finance to innovative businesses, with support already provided to over 8,000 companies, is evidence of the willingness of the UK to support its entrepreneurs. And I've probably seen Chris Philp more times in the last 6 months than at any time in my entire history as a regulator particularly. So I think it illustrates the absolute focus that there is across government and across senior swathes of the city as well. At LSEG, we are immensely keen to offer our support and recognise the importance of supporting entrepreneurs in the startup community. We're increasingly expanding our presence in the private market ecosystem to help develop solutions for companies across what we call the funding continuum, enabling the efficient access to capital such that companies can start here, grow here, scale here, and stay here in the UK. In the panel coming up shortly, you'll hear from Martijn de Wever, CEO of Flow, a company that LSEG itself has invested in and partnered with to develop a network of private company and professional investors, helping create better links between the two and ultimately facilitate investment in those companies. And I know that this work is a lifetime passion project for Martijn, and I hope in me he's actually found he's got a complete ally in that. And in fact, when we start getting together to talk about our vision for the ecosystem, our colleagues tend to actually worry that we won't shut up. And so hopefully it's an illustration of very much how we can transform the shape of the markets to come. But there's so much more that we can do and that we need to do in this space. As has already been alluded to, it doesn't escape me that the UK has 2 of the top 5 universities in the world, far more of that strength per GDP than other countries around the world, a leading life sciences industry, and the 4th highest number of unicorns in the world, and yet accounts for only 3.1% of the global listed equity market. Something isn't working in our funding continuum, and we absolutely need to fix that. The government has enacted ambitious reforms to the listing regime with one goal: to make it easier for companies of all sectors to list here and for the market to improve its engagement with them. In fact, the FCA just published its consultation discussion paper on that this morning. Forgive me, I've been in meetings all day and haven't had a chance to read all of it. But I do know that the aspiration is very much to make sure that the listing regime evolves to meet the needs of the companies of today and tomorrow, and not just those companies that are already existing on our market. But we can and should aspire to more. We need to ensure that companies have multiple routes to market to suit them, and for us this means being the first global exchange group in the world that is genuinely indifferent as to whether a company is public or private, which when I first said it out loud in this building sounded like a revolutionary statement. Actually now it's BAU. And the fact that in EMIRA the London Stock Exchange actually has its own head of private markets, I think illustrates to you the shift in the focus that we have as an organisation to make sure that we can really make this ecosystem work. Supporting companies at all stages of maturity so that they can access the capital they need to achieve their ambitions and make an economic impact is at the heart of what we're here to do. So it's utterly wonderful to see so many of you here today. I hope you're going to have a really useful day. That networking is absolutely what we seek to do. We are a convener of capital, we're a convener of people, and we're very happy to provide this space to make sure that you can do just that. Please make the best use of the connections and the networks that this alumni network produces for you, and hopefully this will be a very useful sense for you of how we can continue to evolve the environment going forwards. The one thing I would also say is I have spent the first year of my role in this job listening to all parts of the ecosystem for what works, what doesn't work. I've become reasonably thick-skinned about hearing full blast what doesn't work, but we need to, because we need to fix it and we need to evolve and we need to make sure we create the best possible market to enable all of you to achieve your visions. And we shouldn't be hidebound by the way it was always done in the past. We need to recognise what we need to achieve for the future. So please don't hold back, but please make sure that you see us as an open door for hearing that feedback and listening to it as well. I hope you have a great day. With that, I'm going to hand over to Amira, who can give you some more insights into what we're doing. Thank you.